viewers, this is the latest in my series of interviews with notable atheist people or people from the world with a non-belief mentality. And today we have a very exciting guest. She is Sadia Hameed. Hello, Sadia.
Hi, John.
How the devil are you?
Very well, thank you very much.
Good. So the first question that I usually ask people is, how did you get to be an atheist, a non-believer?
Well, it's quite a boring story, actually. I got bored. Islam is a very monotonous religion. You pray 5 times a day. The prayers are very, very repetitive. Previously, that's changed quite a lot now, but previously you were taught Arabic, but you weren't taught the meaning of what you were saying. So we'd pray without knowing the meaning of any of the words. So I would pray 5 times a day, although I wasn't even good at that, to be honest. And I would read the same book over and over and over again. And quite frankly, it was just boring. I wanted to do what my other 15-year-old friends were doing. Yeah. So I decided it wasn't for me. A lot of my other friends were doing quite exciting things, and things have changed quite a lot. When I was 15 and I was kind of going through all this thought process, Muslims had very defined sort of characteristics. They wouldn't usually drink. They wouldn't usually go out partying. Some would do it in secret. However, now you're starting to see people drinking, going out, having sex, and still saying, quite clearly, I am Muslim as well. The only kind of big, thick red line between Muslims and those that are no longer Muslim is that one group might eat pork, and even a lot that leave the faith who don't necessarily feel comfortable eating pork. So I left Islam twice. The first time was because I was bored, and I told my mum that I don't believe in God anymore. And she said, well, you can't tell anybody that because we would have to kill you. And I didn't take it seriously. I knew that. I didn't take it seriously. This is my mum talking. She said it in such a matter-of-fact way. I was just like, okay, I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm not going to say anything. And I just didn't for years, again, say anything. And I was still a non-believer for a long time. Then I got into an engagement. It was an arranged engagement. And I went back to Islam for about 6 to 9 months, where I became very, very practicing. And I did a lot of research. So the first time when I left, I didn't know anything really about it. I just knew I was bored by it. The second time, I read everything there was to read about how to be a good wife, how to be a good daughter, how to be a good woman in Islam. And I didn't like what I was seeing. So I left the second time as a very, very informed person about what I was leaving.
This was in the UK?
Yes. Years. I'd been living my life almost for a decade as an atheist in private. And actually it wasn't really a massive deal as well. That part of it wasn't a massive deal in my life.
We can live without God, can't we?
Yeah, we could. It's fine. But the bigger part of my life was being female within a very, very controlling family and community, in a community that was becoming increasingly insular over the years. The atheist component just brought out some of the more crazy fundamentalists within the family, within the community, within the wider community, not just the one that was related to me.
And this is a community that regards women as second-class citizens.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. So the next question is, what issues are important to you in your location today?
I still think that we need to be talking about the issue of women and women's rights within the context of Islam and Muslim majority countries, and the values that those individuals that come to Britain bring with them. That's one issue from my perspective. But the other issue is how the atheist community has developed some very, very obsessive ideas around identity politics, They are just as divisive as any other a community that obsesses about identity and identitarian sort of issues. Some are worse than others, most certainly. My concern has gotten worse because this is a community that allegedly likes to focus on fact and reason, and it doesn't.
That's not all of them. Not all of the atheist community.
No, but a good chunk of them now, right? The majority of them.
We're on your side. We don't like the words any more than you do.
No, quite right. Because they are quite a divisive force.
Yes.
And I genuinely feel like because of the vacuum that's left, because of a lack of religion, there is the kind of the majority of the atheist community are constantly looking for an alternative dogma. I don't even think they realize that that's what they're doing, but that is what they're doing. They found this kind of woke dogma to replace their previous dogma, and I think this is something within the atheist community itself that we need to be exploring. I say we, the wider community needs to be exploring of the vacuum that is left when people leave a religion. A religion offers you a sense of belonging, a community, ritual, which we like. I still love Christmas. I still love all of the kind of practices around Christmas. I actually even like we've got myself and my partner go to a monastery every Sunday for tea and cake. That's our kind of ritual. And I even like some of the rituals that I grew up with when I was a practicing Muslim. And the fact that I could only do that as a practicing Muslim, and that's a problem, really. But that hole that leaves when you leave that faith, that needs to be addressed. That's never being addressed within the atheist world.
Well, humans are social animals, and we want to do things together. And when a belief system has this socialness about it, and when you leaving a belief system leaves you without all of that, and you can't make an alternative belief system out of not believing. That just makes sense. So we do have to find some other reason for humans to come together. I agree. Now, the last question I'm going to ask you is my magical one. What would you do if I gave you an atheist magic wand? What would you wish for?
I think I'd love to say that it would be something like world peace or some kind of improvement. I'm a very selfish person. I would probably wish to have a farm somewhere very, very remote, cut off from all of the madness, because I feel like we're never going to resolve this madness until everybody takes some personal responsibility. And what I feel like is happening, one, this giant chasm that the lack of faith is leaving is becoming an issue. Two, we've got a generation of people growing up that are the service sector people that have been serviced their entire lives. The education system that they go into as customers. They're used to eating out more than cooking at home. They are constantly in the habit of being served. So then they expect everything to align with their values because they're growing up as customers of everything. So they get to demand and they get what they want. So quite frankly, if you gave me a magic wand, the only thing I want is to be able to live away from everything very quickly, because right now I'm having to be part of this rat race that quite frankly I no longer have an interest in.
You want to turn the clock back to a more peaceful and rural time. Okay. Well, good luck with that. Sadia, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take the rest of the day off.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.